Hi, guys, and welcome to an interview with GlenNeta Griffin. Today, we have an amazing guest. She is a wonderful friend of mine. I am so grateful that she decided to join us today. She is an author, educator, life coach, and speaker. She is an amazing friend to me. Melanie Ivey, thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to hang out with you this evening.
Anytime, anytime. So go ahead and tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, hello, everybody. My name is Melanie Ivey. I am grateful for the opportunity to be a life coach. I am a speaker, I am an author, and I have a real passion for women and empowering them to be everything God made them to be.
Awesome. Awesome. So I was at this amazing book signing and launch for Beauty for Ashes, and I want you to tell everybody about it. What
Okay,
is Beauty for Ashes?
so Beauty for Ashes, Your Journey from Brokenness to Wholeness is
Mhm.
a book that came about because of personal experiences. This book is actually it's sort of like a spiritual GPS for those who may have had mistakes, may have past experiences that may have re re-engineered them to go a different path. So, for
Okay.
example, sometimes we have things that happen to us. Some things are in our control. Some things are not.
Right.
Some things may not come off the right way in the sense of they may have damaged us, they may have hurt us. Everybody has a past, everybody
Mhm.
has an experience, but a lot of times life happens, opinions come about, they become more magnified than understanding who you truly are. And so those things replace the value that has never left. So, in the sense of your mistake is not who you are,
Mhm.
your past hurts are not who you are, but they're really there to
Mhm.
help you grow into where you should be if you take them that way. And so
Right.
I had a personal experience with this. Had a really rough time from the perspective of really understanding my value and who God made me to be. And
Mm.
so in that realm, I let a lot of things happen. I took a lot of opinions from people, and they became who I structured myself to be, not really understanding the value God saw me as. So,
Mhm.
from my perspective, I've always been to church, I've always gone to the church, but one thing I've also learned is just because you go to church doesn't mean you have a relationship with God.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Doesn't
That's deep. That's deep.
I was church forever. I sung, I was on the usher board, all the things your mom, your dad, at least mine did. It was like a
Mhm.
mandate. It was no discussion. You went to church. And
Right.
so
Right. Yeah.
in my situation, we did what we were asked to do, but
Mhm.
there was never an opportunity for me to really say, you know what, I need to understand who is this God, this higher being they keep talking about. And what I learned through that experience was there has to be a personal, intimate relationship it's just you and Him. That
Mm.
means you have to actually take time to get into the Word of God and
Mhm.
understand who is God. And from that
Right.
perspective, I learned so much about who I am in Him that it began to replace all of the opinions and the noise in my head and the negative thoughts I had and the blueprint of everybody else as far as what they thought I should be in life. It
Yes.
totally erased all that for me. And so I
Yeah.
had an opportunity. And I call it an opportunity. Some people would say it was a tragedy, but to me, it was an opportunity.
Yeah.
I've been married before. I
Mhm.
love love, but it was to the wrong person
Okay.
because it was one, I was broken at that time. He
Mhm.
was broken. So two broken people together is a mess. Okay.
Right, right. Yeah, at least you know that.
Yes, it's a mess. But at that time, we were in a position where we were feeding each other in certain areas, not
Mhm.
realizing we both were broken. And so
Mm.
mine was more of a mandate of, hey, this is something I need to check off my list. I had done everything my parents asked me to do. The
Right.
last thing they kept ragging me about was about this marriage thing. So I just got married to the first one, and I literally said it out my mouth, which is why I know now that you have power in your words. So you have to be careful
Wow.
to speak out.
Yes. Yes.
So this first thing I did was, okay, the first dude to come up, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this over with, so my mom will leave me alone. And that's the
Wow.
biggest mistake I made. And I can talk about it now because I've gone through the therapy. Listen,
Mhm.
therapy is not just for the white people or the Hispanic people or
Girl,
whatever.
will you say that one more time?
It's for anybody who wants to stay sane. And I think it's very healthy, honestly.
Yes.
For you to remain sane, you need to go to therapy. But
Mhm.
going back to that story, I was really in this mindset of pleasing people.
Mhm.
And I really wanted my mom to be proud of me. because I had a hard time growing up from the perspective of, well, if you come in the house with a B, well, what happened? Well, what happened
Right.
to the other 7 A's I had? Are you going to be excited about that? So
Right. Right.
I came from a family that was very focused. My mom was very focused on academics and being the best. You can't be
Mhm.
second. And so I carried that into my college years and I carried that into my adulthood to
Mhm.
the detriment of me marrying the first person that came along because I just wanted her to be proud of me.
Wow.
And that was the biggest mistake I could have ever done, but the biggest blessing in it.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
through that situation, I did everything I was shown as a growing up as, hey, this is how you stay in a marriage, you
Mhm.
stay whether it's bad or good. And so I was like, I'm going to stick this out. I'm going to be good at this. I've always been good at everything. Surely this is just something else I could be good at. Not
Right.
understanding the sanctity and the involvement of really two whole people coming together to
Mhm.
be in a marriage, not two broken people. So I had to do my work. And
Right.
there's some personal work that each of us has to do in order for us to be our ultimate best selves. And
Mhm.
so the book talks through my journey from my brokenness to my wholeness. And I
Mhm.
realized at that time I was in corporate America, had a really great job, and I'm not going to say the company, but it was a really great job.
Mhm.
And during the worst periods of my marriage is when I had the most um, number of promotions, which is
Oh
crazy.
wow.
So I was killing it at work.
Right. Right.
Didn't want to go home because I didn't know what version of him I was going to have that day. It
Wow.
was rough. However, I say it was a blessing in disguise because I knew of God, and in that situation, it made me develop a relationship with, okay, God, I think I'm at my lowest point at this point. I don't know who else to talk to. I was too embarrassed to really share with anybody the magnitude of the stuff I was going through in my marriage. So
Mhm.
I turned to God. I said, well, he's always been one you could talk to.
Mhm.
And I had to be honest. I said, I don't really know you. I'm ashamed to say that, but I know of you. And they say that you can come and spill your guts and be very truthful and transparent. So I want to get to know you.
Right.
So from that experience, I developed a very intimate relationship with him to the point where it strengthened me. Even though everything around me was going wrong, I still had a peace, and that only came from my relationship with
Mhm.
him. And so it also gave me the strength to leave a violent situation.
Wow.
Thank God that I was not physically hurt, but I was mentally and emotionally battered. And
Which is
so
just as bad. You take
yeah,
someone's brain or mess with their mindset, and it's literally just as bad.
absolutely. So, people would see the outside of me. Yes, she has it together, but that's when I realized you can have it all together, but you
Mhm.
jacked up inside.
Yeah.
So, my walk out of that situation and my walk out of being broken was that's what the book reflects. It shows you what I went through, the different stages, and what helped me along the way to get to this place of wholeness. And so
Mhm.
I realized that in corporate America, we are taught to look a certain way, but nobody really cares about what's really going on with you.
Mhm.
And so from that perspective, I said, I know too many women that currently are in corporate America
Mhm.
that have the look, but I can see through the look to see they're really hurting because
Mhm.
I've been there.
Right.
So I didn't want another woman, a grown woman, to have that experience. And I definitely don't want the younger women to be in a position where they really don't understand their value. So if I can catch them when they're younger and then
Mhm.
just motivate the ones who are, adults to
Mhm.
really take a step back and do your work and take your time
Mhm.
with getting whole. That is the whole premise of the book. So the book was my therapeutic way of me and God talking through some things. And I said, you know what? I don't want another woman to go through this silently like I did because I was
Mhm.
embarrassed.
Right.
So that's where the book came from. I am like there with you in the book to help you
Mhm.
and motivate you to go ahead and do your work. And if I can help you in any way, I'm even available. You call
Mhm.
me. I'm that kind of chick. Call me, honey.
Mhm.
Tell me. I will walk it through with you and talk to you about some things. And that's what inspired me also to become a certified personal development and executive coach
Mhm.
because I understand the power of one-on-one sessions and the sanctity of safe spaces, if you.
Right.
So
Right.
yes, I know I went around the world, but I got it. how the book came about. It was a personal experience that I did want to share with others and help them see they're not by themselves.
Right, right. And you said something really important, and then I'll jump back on track. But you
Sure.
said that a lot of women or people in general, in corporate America or walking around,
Hmm.
they look like they have it all together. And
Yes.
this week alone, we've had suicides from people of power, people worth
Yes.
$250 million who look like they
Absolutely.
have it all together. What are
Absolutely.
your thoughts on that as far as, I'm just going to say checking on your strong friends, your strong
Hmm.
family,
Hmm.
checking on those people who look like they have it all together. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's very powerful and it's very poignant at this point. I think it was really a wake up call for everybody because
Mhm.
this world is so busy. You get caught up in all the 50,000 things you have to do, and you just assume, oh, well, okay, I talked to them yesterday, or I saw a post they did. Surely they're okay based on what
Right.
they posted. But a lot of times people are hiding behind posts and they don't
Mhm.
feel comfortable with the actual one-on-one interaction. I think we're losing the beauty and the art of one-on-one communication and
Yes.
beauty and art of actually having relationships and checking on each other. So I'm
Yes.
hoping that this has ignited or rekindled some awareness of how important it is just to check on people. You're correct. A lot of people, I can say I've had that situation happen as well. Not as far as being suicidal, but when people, that's why I was embarrassed to tell anybody what was going on with me in my marriage, for example.
Mhm.
Surely I'm the first child. Everybody looks up to Melanie. She has
Mhm.
this standard she has to stick with. But it
Mhm.
got to the point where I was so broken, I finally was like, I don't really care what I look like. I'm going to tell somebody I need help.
Mhm.
I remember the last time I saw my ex, and he had stormed out the house. I had just had surgery, and I was afraid because I knew I couldn't defend myself.
Mm.
And so I called my dad. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No." And that was the beginning of me being honest,
Mhm.
me being free, and
Mhm.
me taking care of myself.
Right.
And I think people need to realize that it's not weak to say that you need help.
Yes.
It's
Yes, I agree.
saying that you don't have it all together. If you say, listen, I just have a moment. I just really want to talk this through with you because I'm upset.
Yeah.
I'm a little down about this situation. Can you just listen to me?
Mhm.
I think the art of listening is going away as well.
Mhm.
We really need to go back to the basics, I think.
Yes, yes. And I agree with that. And something else too that you said, I think that's very difficult for people. It's almost second nature when someone says, "How are you?" or "Are you
Yes,
okay?" to
yes,
say, "Yes, I'm okay,"
yes,
versus, "No, I am not okay
yes.
right now," or in my situation. It's very difficult to say, "No, I'm not okay,"
You're right.
as well as saying, "I need help."
Yes,
Even if it comes down to, okay, I have so much going on. My house needs to be decluttered. My house is not
yes,
clean, or I need help in my life, or I need help in my relationship, or I need help getting back on track.
yes.
We don't ask for help.
We
And
don't.
it can be something just as simple as, I just need you to come over and talk to me, or I just need for you to
Yes,
come over and help me clean my house. I
yes.
mean, that's just an example, but I just think that we don't ask for help
I
because
agree.
I don't know if that's because people are so busy and we automatically assume that they're tied up with their own affairs or their own businesses. But I mean, how do you feel? What do you feel about that?
I think you're it's very true what you just said. I don't know if there is a stigma about asking for help these days.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think it's so not commonplace anymore that
Mm-hmm.
people have just deterred and don't even think about it.
Right.
Like, no, surely I have to have it together. And think about it from the perspective of social media. Social media is awesome. Everything has a good side and a bad side.
Right.
And when I
Yes.
look at it from the bad side,
Mm-hmm.
it gives a depiction of especially people who they may already deal with insecurities
Mm-hmm.
or frailties with being okay with who they are as a person outside of what their titles or what they are responsible for them as a person. If
Mm-hmm.
there is something missing from that, then it's hard for them to feel comfortable with asking questions or admitting that they need something because everything on social media gives you the depiction that we're never sad, we're
Right.
never angry, we
Mm-hmm.
never have a down day. So
Mm-hmm.
that I think it's a subconscious thing that has happened that it's just not innately something people do now to ask for help, because everything is hunky-dory, happy on social media. Nobody says,
Mm-hmm.
listen, I'm having a bad day. Nobody
Yeah.
says that on social media.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, there's a few on my page that look like they having a real bad day. I want to reach out and be like, girl, are you okay? Now, I personally do not post those things. I try to keep my pages, upbeat. So I am one
understood.
of those people where you are not going to know if I'm having a bad day because I just try to stay in the positive. But there
Yeah.
are some people that will, air their dirty laundry. And I'm like, girl, you might want to delete that post. Okay, let's move on real quick. And thank you for
Sure.
all of that.
Sure.
Let's move on to Beautifully Made. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let you tell everyone what Beautifully Made is, but I do want to tell you that I am so grateful that you
Oh,
allowed me to be a part of your vision and your journey and this amazing project. So tell everyone, what is Beautifully Made?
absolutely. I'm so grateful that you agreed to be a part of it. Beautifully Made is this vision I was given to redefine what beauty is.
Mm,
So, Beautifully Made, the movement is about empowering women to look beyond the physical
mm, mm,
and see that beauty is three-dimensional.
mm,
It deals with your spiritual side, your emotional side, your mental side, as well as your physical.
mhm,
So again, we see that we can be snatched, we can have these everything together, but
mhm.
that doesn't matter if what comes out your mouth totally deteriorates everything they see on the outside.
Yes, girl. Preach, girl. Preach.
So the movement is to awaken in women the importance of nurturing all of the areas versus just focusing on one.
Mhm,
I think it's important that you have to deal with some things, and it means that you have to actually do some self reflection. You
mhm,
have to actually own whatever it is that is broken within you. And
mhm.
then once you own it, then you can, and you acknowledge it, then you're in a position to do something about it.
Yes.
Also, to empower them to also see that you're not by yourself.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
am
Yes.
definitely the poster child for this movement,
Mhm.
because I can't say I've always had self esteem. I can't
Yeah.
say that. And so it's a journey, and it's something that has to be done with you. I can't do it for you.
Mhm.
I can only aid you in it and support you in it. And so I wanted the movement to be just that, awaken people about how important it is for self care and self nurturing and
Mhm.
what that really means.
Mhm.
It's not just physical.
Right.
It is your self care of your spiritual mind. It's your
Mhm.
self care of your emotions, and it's also being good with being so bright and intelligent.
Right.
I mean, why not? We are
Right.
amazing.
I
So
know. Yes, yes. And something I learned a lot. But a few things that I learned were that there were and are more women focusing on self-love.
yes.
And I also learned that there are more women that are pulling through and recovering a lot better.
Hmm.
And something for me, I just want to reach out to people and let them know just because you're down or you feel like you're at your lowest, it doesn't mean you have to stay there.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah.
And so I want people to understand that they're not in this struggle by themselves as well.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
a lot
They
of
are not
powerful
alone.
women feel like they just always have to have their cape. And so
Yeah.
you
But
can,
you don't know that you're not alone until you allow
yes,
yourself to open up and talk to other people and other women to know that you're not alone. You know what I mean?
that's
'Cause
it.
if you
So
stay in your shell and you don't talk about what it is you're going through, you are alone.
that's it.
But if you allow yourself to be open,
Mhm.
and be vulnerable and reach out to people and talk to people and surround yourself with those people that are going through that situation or the ones that are already bold enough to talk about their stories and tell their stories and their testimonies, you will realize you're not alone.
And that's part of the reason why I developed the video series. I
Hmm.
wanted people to see that we are more alike than we're not.
Yes.
And so we come from different backgrounds. We're ruling things within our realm, but at the end of the day, our commonality is the
Mhm.
same.
Yes, I agree.
So
I
that's
agree with
part
that.
of the reason for the series coming about, the whole movement coming about, because
Hmm.
I can say if I had seen people like me and the people that are being interviewed, I think I would have been better off at a younger age
Hmm.
than where I am now. Now
Okay.
I'm fine now,
Hmm.
I'm good
Hmm.
with who I am.
Right.
I think if I had this lesson younger, then it probably would have been amazingly I can't even say what it would be, but I'm saying it would be better as far as me understanding my worth, my
Hmm.
value at a younger age. And so I had to get to this point But I feel like, okay, if I'm there, then what can I give back to those coming up, as well as
Mhm.
those that are in the same state as me? That it's not too late.
Right.
Getting this is not is the age limit is there is no age limit really. It's
Mhm.
just a matter of you seeing your worth enough to take your time to get to where you're supposed to be. I want people to live optimally. I want you
Mhm.
to live your best life, and it doesn't matter what day you start. You got to start though. You know.
Yes. And I like that you just said that. It doesn't matter what day you start.
Mm-mm.
And that tells you also that it doesn't matter what age you are.
No.
It doesn't matter, if you are 50 and decide to go back and get your degree,
Mm-hmm.
if you try to start a new business at, a later age, if
That's
you
it.
decide to get married and have children later in age. This is your life. This is what people need to understand.
That's
You
it.
can reinvent yourself as many times as you need to.
Absolutely.
And people need to mind their business. Anyone that is judging you or telling you that you can't do it, they don't need to be in your circle.
That's it. And be
Bottom line.
willing to rearrange your circle.
Yes, yes, girl, yes. Seriously. Yes,
I think
yes.
when you get to the point where you're comfortable in your skin
Mm-hmm.
and you actually have taken your inventory, because all of us are fabulous. God gave all of us different talents and skills, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of time life happens and you don't know what those are. You
Right.
will find it's amazing. I have this training where you actually are going to go back to your childhood. We're pulling stuff out that you may not have even paid attention to, that has been like a commonality thread through your
Mm-hmm.
whole life, that really is where your passion and your purpose is. But you've
Wow.
been busy doing all kind of other stuff and what other people think you should be doing, but not really paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
So part of the movement is also for you to be present.
Right.
I want you to live on purpose,
Yes, yes.
not
Yeah,
live
and live,
exactly.
and that's something else too that I've dealt with in working with people is living now. We get so caught up in the hustle
Yes.
and trying to, build our passions or, build out our dreams and things like that. We actually forget to live. We
Yes.
forget to take a walk in the park. We
Yes.
forget to do all the things that don't cost money. We
Yes.
forget to do things that are not here to impress other people, just
Mm.
to do the things that we love to do and the things that actually make us happy.
Yes, and
You
that's
know?
part of that intrinsic,
Yes.
understanding what you intrinsically love to do and what, ignites your fire, if
Yes.
you will.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
I believe if it ignites your fire, there's a way for that to be your common job. You can
Mhm.
change jobs, but a lot of people are afraid. They don't know how
Mhm.
to do that. And so part of the movement is just not just a movement. It's opportunities for us to collaborate in partnership with other people to get you the information and the structure you need to truly live your best life.
Right, right. And hold on, let's get on that real quick, girl. You keep on saying things that are just like I just want to talk about anyway. Let's talk about how strong and how far we would get, especially as Black women, if
Yes.
we partnered and collaborated.
Gosh.
Can we talk
Yes.
about that for a minute?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about that, Melanie.
Okay. So I know the power of us. First of all, when you're comfortable in your skin, then you don't have a problem partnering with others and having collaborations.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know, understand why we as Black women can't get along. I don't get it.
I don't understand.
But you're just as powerful as I am, and I respect and value what you bring to the table, and I see opportunities for us to collaborate on certain things. And that's what
Yes.
I see most people. When I
Mm-hmm.
see, I'm like, man, they really could. That could be really good. Have y'all
Yeah.
two met? And so I'm really big about trying to get that. And you saw that on the video series. I
Yeah.
really wanted. I was like, I wanted this to be Black women doing their thing, all for the effort of
Mm-hmm.
empowering other women to
Mm-hmm.
do their thing. And so
Yeah.
there's so much power that we're not tapping into
Mm-hmm.
because we're not taking the moment to see how we can help each other reach
Mm-hmm.
each other's goals. I'm
Yes.
not going to take anything from you. You're not going to take anything from me,
Mm-hmm.
but we can definitely partner and magnify the reach, the
Mm-hmm.
value that we can provide for people so then they can see, man, this collaboration thing is really something we need to tap into. Yes.
Yes, it is. And it's powerful. And we all have to realize that there's enough room for success at the top. There's enough room up there for everybody. So that's something that's been a major challenge for me and for dealing with people. Like I've dealt with so many women in general, or especially Black women that have tried to, bring other people down. And I'm just looking like, don't you realize how strong we are and how powerful we are and how much better and greater we can all be if we work together? So I truly hope that I will be able to find a way, or you and I could collaborate and find a way to change that mentality and help them see, another way. And I'm not going to say that I've always been that way. It took a long time, and it took self-confidence and a lot of growth to get there. I'm not going to say I've always been that person, but now I have discovered there are a lot of better ways to do things, and collaborating and supporting each other and helping each other is one of them.
I totally agree, because the more you talk and the more you get to know other women, you see commonalities for
yes.
them.
Yes.
There's a young lady, and she has an event coming up. This literally happened today. And she was like, hey, she reached out to me on Facebook. She said, we have a lot of commonalities, and I was thinking, oh, okay. I said, sure, let's talk. And so we talked today, and I love what she's doing, and she's going to support me, and I'm going to support her. So it's like, it's really that simple.
It is that simple.
Conversation.
Yes.
That's really it.
Yes. So we're going to tell everybody right now, reach out to someone and collaborate and partner and get to the next level. Let's do that.
You don't have to know everything. We have other strengths. And so if it's something that you need, I'm sure you can find a sister that can provide it for you. But what are you willing? It's a two-way street.
Right.
So it can't be one-sided, whereas you asking her something. Well, you need to take a moment and say, how can I support you?
Right.
And that, to me, is a collaboration.
I agree.
It may not be the same, exchange, but there's something you can offer her. And if you understand your value, you understand that you're offering her something, and she's going to offer you something, and you understand that you guys can win together.
Yes, we win together. I love that. Let's win together. That needs to be a shirt. Let's win together.
Work on it.
Yeah, let's work on that shirt. Okay, real quick before we wrap up, let's talk about passion versus your purpose. So I hear a lot of people say, I want to turn my purpose into my passion, or my passion into my purpose, or is there a difference?
Okay, so you have your purpose is fueled by your passion.
Okay.
Put it that way. So for example, I know doing my work and going back in my history, I realized I've always had a heart for women. Always. I can look at the kind of organizations I was in, all that. So as I did my work and figured that out, I realized that's always been my purpose. My heart for them came through trials and tribulations I've experienced as a woman, which ignited my passion even more for fulfilling my purpose of reaching out to these women. So it's like the passion is the fire behind your purpose. All of us have a purpose. We're created that way. I can give you some scriptures on that, but I know we got a little time.
But how does an average person find their purpose? Like, I want you to specifically talk to someone that's listening to this broadcast and they want to know what their passion is. Like, we believe that everyone knows what it is. But believe me, there are people out there who absolutely do not know what they're passionate about, or they don't know what their purpose is. They're walking through life going, I really want to know what my purpose is, and they don't know. So if one of your coaching clients were to ask you, how do I identify my purpose in life, what would you tell them?
There are several ways to do that. But the first step I would say is, let's look at what has happened to you or of that truly upsets you. Okay. And I know that's probably not the answer you were looking for.
Okay.
But truly, a lot of times, what is a painful thing for you is really an indication of what your purpose is.
Okay.
For example, I turned my pain into purpose, and I learned that was my purpose by going through it. I knew underlining that I had a big heart for women, but it took me going through the situation for me to really understand, pinpoint exactly what I'm supposed to be focused on within that. You can always say, you're empowering women, but what specifically are you empowering women from? So in the instructions that I give people, we're going to walk through some things that you've gone through, and what are some of the most, and I wouldn't say it's always the most painful things, but the things that are most poignant into you that have transitioned or shifted your thinking is where you'll start to begin to hone in on what your purpose is. like I said, mine has always been women. But when I went through the situation I was in, I realized specifically I did not want another woman
Mm-hmm.
to not understand her self-worth and her self-value. That's
Mm.
pinpointed.
Right.
And that's
Right.
all I'm about. I'm about awakening your mind, making sure you understand the value of your mind and your thoughts and your words.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it took me going through that for me to all of a sudden have this burning, like I have a burning desire to not have anybody else go through that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has evolutioned itself into Beautifully Made. It's turned into Beautiful Ashes. It's turned into this video series. That's what's fueling me. That's my passion. But it came out of a painful experience.
Right.
Why I'm saying that, because a lot of times it does come through something that you already have gone through, something that bothers you, it nags you when you see it. It's interesting. I know that's probably not normally what people say, but I'm telling you, I'm beginning to see the consistency and looking at your current situation, looking at your past, and
Mm-hmm.
having exercises for you to really see the common threads so you can pinpoint what that is.
Right. Right. I
Did
agree. I
that
think
help?
that's yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's amazing. And I want this to bless someone just as Beautifully Made is blessing. So which episode are we on and how can they view the video series?
Sure. So we are on episode 7.
Okay.
You can definitely go to my websites and YouTube. You just look for Melanie D. Ivey, Ivey, and you can find the Beautifully Made video series that we're having. So this year's series will contain 15 women
Mhm.
from different walks of life, and they're excelling within their realm. You know, with the gifts they've identified God has given them, and some of them even talk through. I'm still learning other gifts that God is showing me through this
Yeah.
walk,
Yeah.
which I think is amazing. And
I
people,
think that's amazing too. I think it's such a big person when you can say, I'm still a work in progress. Because you have a lot of people that are out there going, I have it all figured out. I know exactly what I'm doing in life. And there are the people that go, you know what? God is still working on me and I'm still trying to figure it out. And I think that's okay. I think that's honest and I love it.
I think that's being transparent all the way.
Right.
Because honestly, I don't have it all together either. I'm a work
Hmm.
in
Girl,
progress.
I am a work in progress with you.
But I'm
Believe me, I
grateful.
am.
Yeah, and I'm grateful for where I am.
Yes.
I realize, the power in continuing to move and evolve. So I'm
Hmm.
a real big proponent of reading. I
Yes.
love books.
Yeah.
I'm always reading, I'm writing. I think another thing I would say to your audience is the power in journaling.
Yes.
It's very powerful for you to write down your thoughts. And it's
Hmm.
amazing because I can look back at journals I've done, especially during that time of going through the divorce and all that, and looking
Hmm.
at where I am now. I'm a totally different person. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful journey to be able to read it and see how far you've come. Because a lot of times life happens and you don't realize how much magnitude of progress you've made. And you got to have
Hmm.
time to celebrate you every day.
I agree. And on that, I also want to recommend everyone to write down your goals,
Yes,
whether it's just for the entire year or the month or even the week or the day. Like
yes,
in my phone and my calendar, I have everything that I need to get done in the day. And then I put my little check marks next to it. And
yes,
it would be amazing. It's amazing when you can go back and look at that and see what all you've accomplished. And it does give you a sense of celebration for yourself. You can celebrate those small successes. Like celebrating success does not mean that, okay, you just finished another degree or you did something
right.
huge. It can be something as simple as I got that closet cleaned out. I
Listen.
mean, that is an accomplishment if that's something you really wanted to do, or if it's
Yes,
something that's been cluttering your space, or I
yes,
wrote one page in my book.
yes.
Real quick, give us some advice if someone out there wants to write a book. So I'm so proud of you for
Thank
releasing
you.
your book, and I'm so proud of what's to come for you. So
Yes.
if someone wants to write a book, like what was a challenge for you, or what would you recommend?
I would recommend you start journaling.
Okay.
Start writing down. First of all, have a topic. You probably you can write down titles. You can start out writing down your titles. And I'm like
Mm-hmm.
playing here writing like I'm writing it down. Write down what your thoughts are. And
Mm-hmm.
my book came about getting up every morning. I would meditate and then I would just start writing. It was the weirdest experience, but I'm beginning to see there's value in that.
Yes.
So once you figure out what you're writing, or some people even start the more academic way, once you have a topic, write down an outline of what you want the chapters to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can start working. Set a timeline for yourself and be
Mm-hmm.
realistic.
Mm-hmm.
To your point of, okay, well, if I want to do one chapter in 2 weeks, okay, well, how many hours a day are you going to set aside? How,
Right.
how many hours a week are you going to set aside? Whatever makes
Mm-hmm.
sense for you, and be committed to yourself.
Yeah. Don't make up excuses. Get it
Right.
done. Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
committed to yourself. And I'm beginning to see part of that self-care and that self-worth and that self-value is
Mm-hmm.
really understanding the power of investing in yourself.
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it. And I love you. And I thank
I
you
love you too.
so much for joining me. Tell everyone really quick how to stay connected to you and how to get that book.
Oh, absolutely. So the easiest way is to go to melanieivey.com.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you'll have access to the Beautifully Made series. You'll also have access to my book website. It has its own website. And
Okay.
so that's beautyforashesbook.com. Or if you just go to Melanie D. Ivey. I think that's best. You'll
Mm-hmm.
have access to everything I have going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I look forward to hearing from you and working with you. I'm definitely open to working with anybody that wants help with
Mm-hmm.
this journey to living your best life.
Living your best life.
Yes.
That is the quote of the day. Live your best life. All right, guys, we're
Yes.
out of time, but thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Melanie. I love you. I'm so glad that you joined us, and I'm so proud of you and all your success. I can't wait to tune in and see the rest of the episodes of the Beautifully Made series.
Yes.
And I'll see you all next time. Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.